Hey girl. Well, good morning. You might be thinking, oh, she's on her 8 a.m. walk again. Let me tune in. It's 1 p.m. and last night I hit like an actual breaking point. I think in all of our lives we're going to experience grief, whether it's a breakup, your parents getting divorced, your parents dying, because yes, one day your parents will die. Someone you love will be lost, whether that's a breakup and they're still here in the form of an ambiguous loss, or in my case they're mentally incapacitated but still here, or they actually are 6 feet underground or in an urn. And last night I've been you've been noticing I've been feeling panicky, and I guess panic attacks are a part of grief, but last night I just really hit a wall, like a breaking point. I could not sleep even though I was super tired, and I've been doing all the things like waking up, getting a routine, eating clean, and so there comes a point where you're doing all the things, and sometimes the journey and processing it is that the things that you do just don't work. And so last night I couldn't sleep. I was having major panic attacks from like 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then finally at 5 a.m. I saw that my grandma was awake. I have a little camera set up in her house, and I called her just bawling my eyes out. I was like, my heart just hurts so bad, and I was just having such big cries. And it's just that I'm in this point of grief where I'm really tired and things are really heavy, and I know that this is just a stepping staircase and a spiral staircase of grief, because healing isn't linear. But holy fuck, I haven't had such a unable night of sleep when I'm so exhausted in a while. And it doesn't help that I'm on my freaking period, and I haven't even got my period in 4 months. So now that I'm getting it, of course my body is like exhausted, and then I can't sleep. So that was rough. That was really rough. I ended up falling back asleep from like 8 or 9 a.m. to like noon. And then I was like, oh, I just want to lay in bed all day. And then I was like, wait, depression gets you when you don't move. I gotta get out there. So I'm out here in nature, because nature always helps me. I really love that movie Hoppers, where the grandma's like, it's hard to be mad or stay too sad when you're connected to something bigger. And I'm like, yeah, I just need to go stand by the trees right now. I've also heard that a cure for depression is expression, creative expression. So like, hey girl, hey, gonna be filming my day. And I'm also in that point of grief where it's been a couple of years that I've been processing the grief of my dad. And for those of you that don't know, the dad situation is just one of those where you gotta go no contact with someone because they're difficult, they're mentally ill. It's also below freezing right now, so let's ignore my snot dripping down my nose. But going no contact with someone because you need to, like, for your health, that's how I've got to go with my dad. I think it hurts and cuts even deeper when it's a parent, because the grief of losing a parent is surreal. I'm honestly glad that it's my dad first, and I get to process this grief with my dad while my mom is still alive, because I feel like losing your mom is like losing a part of yourself, and that is going to be a lot more tragic and devastating. So this is like the warm-up. It's like the prerequisite. It's a little dip my toe in the pond. But I've been grieving him for 2 freaking years. We've been no contact for 2 years. And I'm just at this point in grief where I'm like, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I don't want to be sad about this. I don't want to have panic attacks. I don't want to lose sleep over this anymore. I'm just done. And as much as I am so headstrong and wanting to be done, it's like I don't get to control how my body chooses to process what it needs to process. So today I just needed to be gentle with myself. I needed a deep cry for a couple of hours. I feel like the grief with my dad is toppling on with the grief of just taking some distance from one of my last friendships. Every time I've gone through a friendship breakup, like outgrowing all my friends in my early 20s, it wasn't, that bad, because I started with 7 friends, and then I went down to like 5 friends, and then I went down to 3 friends, and then I went down to 2, and then I went down to 1, and now the last one I've recently we're just not clicking. And it's not to say that me and this person or these people will never be friends again, but it's just like right now I am drowning in this grief and I can't put on a performance. I can't fake showing up in a friendship and taking my vulnerable, real self to a friendship that can't reciprocate the depth is just like throwing myself at a wall. So I think the grief of taking time away from my last current friendship, and then also the grief of my dad and then my mom and my grandma like recognizing it, people in my life being like, oh yeah, what you went through must be tough, like I can't imagine the betrayal you experienced from your dad. It like makes it so much more real, whereas like at the beginning, a couple years ago when this was happening, my mom was almost gaslighting me for it, and I think that provided a level of cushion to be like, oh well, if she's not believing me, then it can kind of, I mean, there's their own pain and betrayal added on to not being believed in a situation where you need to walk away from something that is dangerous and not safe. But also it kind of like is one person putting a tally of denial towards your reality. So you're like, oh, I could latch onto that, so maybe it's not as bad. And then someone who was denying your reality coming around years later and being like, yeah, this is your reality. It sucks. It's really tough. It's like, oh, pain, pain, pain. So much pain. So it's 1 p.m. and I'm out here doing my morning walk. I'm going to do a head spa later today. There is a pizza spot next to the head spa, so I'm thinking about going and doing that. I had plans to like do my laundry and I don't know, be productive per se today, and then the lack of sleep and panic attacks just derailed that really far. So we're just going to take today as is. I think this is what living and processing grief is like. You just sometimes make plans, and then sometimes you have days where your body is like, nope, I need you to not do a lick of laundry. I need you to do your little head spa. Maybe just grab some pizza at the head spa place next door, read the Kindle. And thank God there is a surrender yoga tonight with my favorite instructor, so I feel like that will be really rejuvenating and calming to my nervous system. I'm showing you what a day with grief looks like and letting you know that just in case you haven't gotten to the point in your life where you lost something that you really loved and it breaks your spirit temporarily and you're on the mend of repairing your own spirit, this is what grief can look like. And you can have panic attacks with grief. You can lose your appetite with grief. You can lose your sleeping cues with grief. And I think I'm just so bummed out because the first 2 years I experienced this grief, I like wasn't eating and I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't even drinking water. And then I would just eat like popsicles and chicken nuggets at night because that would be super comforting and that would be like my reward for getting through such a tough day. And now I'm realizing that food is more than just I need to eat food to live. Like, food is such a coping skill of mine. It's such a comfort. It's such a dopamine hit. And being consciously aware of the choices that I make of things that I consume. And so I can tell this last week the grief is heavier because I'm supplementing it and taking care of myself by eating chips and eating candy. Yes, taking care of yourself sometimes looks like eating 3 bags of chips in a week and having pizza 4 out of 7 times of the week and possibly going to get more pizza today. It's grief, man. We all go through it, and the way that you process your own grief doesn't make you weak or strong. I think there was a lot of shame that I had of like, I just can't shake this type thing. Because trust me, if there was a way that I could compartmentalize this and not have the emotions like flow through my body the way that they do, girl, I would press that button, swallow that pill, wave that wand. I would do it. But that's just not how my life is unfolding. And I'm sure that this process of grief is tricky, it's messy, sometimes it's disgusting and nasty, and you gotta find some reprieve because it feels like suffering. And we all go through suffering. So sometimes you suffer well, and sometimes the suffering does not go so well. Today, I'm trying to do my best suffering well. So Join me, if you will. I'm starting with an extra long, juicy walk because the sleep schedule was fucked. And it's 5 degrees, but I'm bundled for the gods, and I'm spending a good half an hour, see if I can make it to 45 minutes. I may be bundled up and walking and talking to help alleviate the heaviness and horribleness that I feel in my heart and my gut. And I'm just gonna drive straight out to the pizza place. I'm also such an extrovert that it helps me to be around other people and be in other spaces when I'm feeling like this. Even if I'm not talking to anyone, I'm just like sitting and reading my Kindle. So spend a day of grieving with me. Oh.
我说一下，这儿挺奇怪，我现在用中文讲，因为里边有很多人都是 Jewish 的人。
This place is a little bit funky because it's a pizza place, but then they also have sushi, and I'm like, okay, but the pizza kind of gives like 2008, you know, back then pizza. I don't know, it's nostalgic. I'm here. My head spa is next door, and I was kind of just thinking on the drive over here since I last saw you. I went home, I didn't do the laundry, but I like gathered everything together and put it in the laundry room for tomorrow's task, and then I just made my bed and cleaned up the living room because I spent my panic attack hours from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. out in the living room. So it was just, you know, it was a mess, but I'm glad I got to bring out my heated blanket to soothe myself during that time. And I was like, this is what life is like post-betrayal. Like, my dad really betrayed me. He grew up, I think there are certain things that you like don't lie about. And one of them is like, you don't really lie about having a disease that can kill you if you don't actually have the disease to kill you, to like worry other people and like emotionally manipulate other people. And like, my dad did that shit my whole entire life, and it just went way too far at the end where I just finally had to cut him out. And I'm like, this is life post betrayal, post grief. I'm kind of getting a twofer here. So this is, I'm just gonna document my life so that you can see that life does, and also for me to know that like life still goes on after being deeply severely betrayed and after losing a parent. Life does go on, and this is what a day in the life can look like in moving forward from that. So I'm gonna sit. I ordered my pizza. I did treat myself. I got a Diet Coke. I don't know how the caffeine content of the Diet Coke is going to sit in my body with the panic attacks and lack of sleep, but I'm gonna enjoy the taste of it with my pizza. I got black olives on my pizza, and I'm gonna sit and read my Kindle. I'm on the first book of Crescent City, and I finally got through the tumultuous first 100 pages, which were rough. If you're starting Crescent City, the beginning is rough, but then once you get to like chapter 10, 11, 12, it gets a little bit better. So now I can escape into reading. I'm so glad I got into reading because it has been a really good escapism and a healthy coping mechanism for processing grief and betrayal. Okay, now I'm gonna sit and read my Kindle and wait for my pizza. Oh, I was also thinking when I drove over here that it sucks when the life of the party loses their light. And I'm like the actual life of the party, not the life of the party because I died, you know? I light up every room I walk into, not after I died. You know, I feel like when everyone dies, they were the life of the party, they were a light in the room. But like, no, I really am that. And so to go through something so tumultuous and dark and something like this experience I've never encountered before in this lifetime, I feel like my inner spark is dimmed and I feel really small because of it. But I just wanted to tell you that if you're feeling small because you've been betrayed and ashamed, and you know, life goes on, but also when you feel small, you're still whole. And that was like such a gem, wisdom nugget that I had in the car. It was like, even that when I'm feeling small right now because of what I'm going through, I'm still whole, and this is just a low tide in the ocean of love that is my life. I also am feeling extremely deprived, like physically, intimately, socially. I'm an extroverted person, like 98% extroverted. So the fact that I'm doing this all alone is soul crushing. And I'm
trekking forward another day. I'm spending the day outside my house today because I'm such an extrovert, and I know that spending time outside helps me feel better. So I've got this little pizza situation with all my juice, and then I'm going to do a head spa. Then there is a mall that I drove past on the way. I was like, maybe I could stop at the mall and return some stuff and just peruse in the mall. And then I signed up for yoga at 6:45 tonight. So I just plan to be out of the house until like 8 p.m. tonight, go home, have a nice hot shower, and get in bed and try and sleep and just see what happens. I also did a lymphatic drainage massage yesterday, so I wonder if like 它挤出来的我的毒, like my grandma says that your tears have poison, which I guess kind of makes sense because your tears carry a lot of stress, and when you have ocular leakage, it's like the stress no longer needs to be stored in your body. So maybe the massage just like 挤出来 all what's stressed, like squeezed out all my stress. And now I'm gonna replenish with a comfort meal, which is a black olive pizza with a Diet Coke. Breakfast at 2 p.m. Life is worth living. Something about this pizza is nostalgic. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna sit and wait and drink. Let me crack this for you. Fizzle, fizzle, fizzle. So the owner of the restaurant, I'm assuming it's the owner, just came up to me as I was sitting there, and he was like, "Are you kosher?" And I was like, "No, don't really have any dietary restrictions or preferences." He was like, "Oh, okay, well, the pies here," he called it a pie, you know, pizza, I don't really call it a pie, I feel like that's the East Coast thing, but he was like, "The pies here are expensive because everything here is kosher." And I was like, "Oh, that makes sense why when I first walked in, there was a lot of Jewish people there, like everyone wearing the, I don't know what the proper term is for that hat that the Jewish guys wear. People were speaking Hebrew in there. I just noticed it was all the Jews. That's why I was like, I'm eating my pizza with my Jews. But it's a kosher place. Who knew? I sat and I read for an hour. I ate half my pizza, had half my Diet Coke, and now I'm just gonna go for a walk around the parking lot since I have 20 minutes before my head spa appointment. I really like this head spa place though, so I'm glad that I was able to book these self-care things. It's almost like my subconscious knew I was going to be going through a tumultuous wave of grief and semi-drown in it. But I guess my little key to not drowning in grief and big emotions of processing betrayal is to just keep afloat. And keeping afloat today looks like sleeping until noon after having a sleepless night, and eating pizza and reading my book, going to the head spa, and we'll just see where the day takes us. I know I've got yoga scheduled later tonight, which is going to be nice to just do a relaxation stretch. My body could use it. Good news is I called my insurance company to ask about what the coverage is for my chiropractor this year, and they said I have full coverage. So I was literally on the phone like, thanks, that's a little bright light in my rather dark day. So there's that. I'm just gonna meander around this parking lot to get fresh air. If you're feeling depressed or you're processing big things, try spending time outside. If you can't muster up the strength or the courage to actually walk outside, just like sit on a chair outside. Being outside seriously helps so much, even if you're by a busy road and all these busy ass cars. Okay, see you in the head spa. Girl, this place is the best. You get a cozy, warm, heated towel to put on, and then look at the vibes. It just smells like rich and cozy and delicious. This is so my vibe. Alright, y'all, we're looking at my scalp. Okay, it's not
too crazy.
Yeah.
It's a regular little waxy buildup of the roots, which will clear out today. Looking good. Your roots are a lot more clarified.
Squeaky clean.
Your girl is in heaven. That was
luxurious. The smells, I'm so particular about smell, and the whole experience is like a 5-star luxury, fresh, organic smell. The best. It smells like rich, modern girl, womanhood. And then there's so much massaging in the neck, the shoulders, the arm. There's a heated, weighted blanket. I was out. I couldn't record any of it, honey. When she put that heated, weighted blanket on me, I was gone. Even the way that my head sits on this thing, everything's heated. Come get you one of these. I needed this. This was really a treat. You even get to come to this little vanity place when you're done and blow dry your hair, and they put like oil in my hair. Usually after scalp treatments you want to leave your hair wet, but because it's -2 degrees outside, I did blow dry my hair. Feeling very pampered, very luxurious. Please come get you one of these. Gift one of these for a birthday, an anniversary. Like, this is just my favorite thing ever. The best head spa in Minnesota. Period. Cloud Spa. Come get you one of these. Let me tell you, that Japanese head spa is it. I've done a Korean head spa, I've done Chinese head spa, and I've done Japanese head spa. This Japanese one is by far my favorite because Korean, they use a lot of tools. Chinese, was it a mix? I kind of forgot what the Chinese one was like. I've only done the Chinese head spa once in China. But this Japanese one, they use more of their hands. So if you love someone going like this, it's basically 90 minutes of that. And then they just started selling, thank God, because I always ask her, they use Japanese products for my hair, and they smell divine. And I remember when I was coming here last year, I kept asking her, like, are you selling the products? Are you selling the products? And now she finally has a wall of product. So I got some minis, which I feel like would be good to try it out, and then, you know, good travel stuff, because I got this other travel mini stuff from Bumble and Bumble. Wow. Bumble and Bumble does not compare. I don't even know this brand. Milbun, this Japanese brand. Oh, the smell of this is divine. I got a clarifying one and a hydrating scalp one, and then just like a every day. I don't wash my hair every day, but the more regular frequency one for my medium. She was like, you have medium coarse hair. And I was like, yeah, girl, these thicky runny jeans. And I have like 2 hours before yoga, so I think I'm gonna stop at the mall and do a return and maybe do some more retail therapy. Well, guess where I made a pit stop? In case you didn't know, this is Cheesecake Factory, their famous bread. I've got the filete, starting with the hot spinach and artichoke dip. It's so good. I'm not even a fan of sour cream like that, but you do the chip, you do a little sour cream, a little tomato, and then you dip it in here. Holy. Okay, I also ordered the grilled salmon. It doesn't even look like I dug into that, but I swear I ate until my heart's content, and I'm reading. All right, so I made it back home after my Cheesecake Factory excursion. I went to do my little return. I tried on some stuff, and then it was time to go to yoga. There was a snowstorm to drive home in, so that was fun and unexpected, and I came home to a package. Have you seen these ads, the Symbiotica? Apparently it's Persian owned, Iranian man owned, I'm pretty sure, and like liquid vitamins are apparently better for your body to digest more, because apparently when you take pill vitamins, you only retain like 20% of it and you pee out most of your vitamins. And magnesium helps you sleep throughout the night. It says like brain health, stress management, and heart health. So I definitely will be taking this magnesium in the morning. It's been sitting out for a couple of hours since I've been gone all day. I literally left at like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. and it's like 8:30 now that I'm home, so they're frozen. I'm not gonna take it frozen, but I think I will take some melatonin tonight, because my clock of my body, my circadian rhythm is so messed up from not sleeping last night, and then like sleeping basically from like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. today. So I'm gonna take 2 of these gummies, take a hot shower, and just read my book in bed. It has been a tumultuous, it started off rocky, tumultuous. The head spa was definitely a winner. The pizza was nice. The Cheesecake Factory was also a nice surprise. So it's the little things, and just keep pushing forward,
each day, and even just saying, like telling you and calling my grandma and saying like, hey, I'm struggling today, I'm having a really hard day, helps a lot. So I hope if you're on your grief journey, healing experience, there are days where it's just tough and you can't see the light on certain days, and that's okay, because that's why we lie tomorrow. We'll just see how tomorrow goes. I guess I'll see you in the next vlog. Take care. Do what you need to take care of yourself. I hope this vlog I was able to show you that you can make gentle choices without judging yourself, like eating out twice a day or not being able to sleep and then sleeping from like 8 a.m. to noon, like not being too harsh on myself and giving myself grace and space to navigate this experience that I've never gone through before. So I hope you get to take some of the gentleness and tenderness in today's vlog, and just know that you're not alone in whatever you're going through, and you will get through it. Things that my grandma said to me that helped me are like, I believe you'll get through this. Like, I know you're gonna get through this, and I'm giving you all my love. So I repeat my grandma's words to all of you. I know you're gonna get through whatever the hell you're going through. We're all going through shit, and I'm sending you all my love. See you in the next one.